Hey everyone, welcome back. We have entered the early modern era as just on, and we have a decent setup here, a lot of unattached territories. We've been in constant conflict with this blue player here, who is the ancestor, and I'm shocked they're doing as well as they're doing, to be quite honest, because they don't have a lot of strengths and all that. Whereas a lot of the other AI I have in this game have much stronger abilities. But at any rate, we did just wrap up a war with them. They were the Byzantines in the past, so you can see this Varangian guard spam going on. And we did take a couple just unattached territories, as well as this city right here, which is now going to give me a gemstone manufactory. And we are definitely going to have to go to war again. They are the fame leader, and I think I'm a little bit behind on my fame compared to where I normally am at this point. Probably because with the changes, it's been harder to get merchant and aesthete stars without picking one of those cultures. Like if you look at the scaling on this merchant star, I need 37,000 money in order to get one star, which is a lot. So I do have collective minds on all my cities, and I was doing that to get my manufactories going. I'm going to go ahead and disable that now, because now I want to start focusing on building my manufactories. So Babylon has a lot that I need to build. And realistically, I don't think I'm going to end up building any market quarters in Babylon, so it doesn't really matter which deposits I place these on. In the event I do build some market quarters over here, I'll sort of place them in that direction. Let's see. And we want the lead manufactory in here as well. And definitely prioritize those. So the manufactories are going to give me a massive increase to my outputs. Now that tea manufactory is going to go in this city here, because I am building some market quarters in this area. So that'll give a little bit of adjacency benefits to the market quarters. And dye is going to go in Mykene. Right here, where it'll get a bunch of market quarter adjacency. What else can I get? I think I already queued up gemstones here. I did. What's this? Artistic expression. I'm going to grab this +1 influence on Maker's Quarters. I do have quite a few Maker's Quarters, so that should increase my influence output a decent bit, as well as move me on the Liberty Tree, which will also increase my influence output some more. Now, I do want to start working on my Sowons. Once I have these manufactories online, I am not going to have to worry about stability for quite a while. So I am free to just build a bunch of stuff. I'm going to lose a few outputs there, but I'd like that nice science boost that I'm getting from the Sowons here. So the Sowons, in some ways, are like very similar to the astronomy house that I got as the Babylonians near the start of the game, because they give +1 science per researcher. They don't give me that food per researcher, but they give a bunch of science per adjacent research district. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. In the last episode, I was talking about maybe trying to found a city up here. I do need 3-masted ship before I do that for colony plan. So let's go for that next after gunpowder. So I have a bunch of unattached territory down here. But, oh, I got an arrow star. I don't know what it was. A builder star. That was pretty fast. I must have had a little bit of carryover from the previous era. So, I think we can keep this city, to be honest. I'm going to go ahead and attach this so they can't just randomly trespass through my territory. And let's start getting some of this infrastructure in here. Just the basic stuff. Quite a bit of river here now that I've attached, so we can go ahead and get some of that river infrastructure too. Really losing food though. Just buy that gemstone manufactory, I'll buy the animal barns, buy the flood irrigation. I don't want to lose pop here. We'll grab artificial reservoirs as well. And then into watermill. And everyone else should start working on these ones. I do lose that's only 5 food there from that quarter now, so I'm not concerned about replacing that. And one right here. I know I am specializing more in money in this city, but I think what I'm going to do is put my pops onto research and then just use market quarters to generate my money. I don't have any advantages to growth. I haven't gotten any of those cultures this game. Now, Myking's a bit of an oddball because I took it over from another player, which means it isn't really specialized at all. There's just a little bit of everything. I'm going to continue to focus on money here, and everyone else is really going to get research quarters. Let's see. I'd rather not lose the outputs there, so I'm going to place it on this one. Rivers are important, right? You don't want to lose your outputs on rivers. They're usually your most efficient exploitations. Okay, so I got gunpowder. Let's buy reservoirs there. Only at -3. We'll move someone from, I guess, money onto food, just so I don't lose pop. And okay, Commons Quarter, you can go to the back of the queue now. I'm going to need some more industry in here. I am lacking quite a few of these industry buildings. Let's get a charcoal kiln. Though, let me think about this. Yeah, I think a charcoal kiln is fine. I'm also going to need the saltpeter here, and I'm going to prioritize that because I want to be able to upgrade into some arquebuses in the not too distant future. Pop that down here. Add that into the queue. Okay. So could mobilize. I don't know what the unexpected consequences are. But at the same time, I could use that extra +1 combat strength from the Homeland Axis. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This religion has proven extremely resilient, even though the owner of that religion has been completely displaced. Well, nothing I can do about it, really. Go ahead and get this science infrastructure in Babylon. There's an agrarian star. I'm going to upgrade one of these crossbows into arquebuses. Obviously just a straight upgrade. It's just going to be constant conflict with the blue player at this point, given their current position. And they did attach in here to some random city. So I'm basically just kind of hanging on until I get a few better techs. I'd really like to have line formation in order to go to war with them. So I think after 3-masted ship, I don't need chartered companies. I mean, like, some of this stuff is good, like getting the extra money. But I think I want to start going down flintlock. Well, let me think about that. Because I can go into steam engine and then scientific method and then electricity, which is a very frequent route for me. I do have a lot of these unknown strategics, which means it's very likely I have at least several coal. I might turn on... Once I get some of this stuff online, I might turn on the collective mines again in one of these cities. Yeah, like 896 industry in here would be a nice boost to my science. just so I can get down the tree a little faster. So the reason I want to go for steam engine, I mean, it gives me the colony blueprints, but more importantly, electricity gives me coal generators, which gives me +1 of every output on all my quarters for every coal that I own. Now, if I don't have a lot of coal after I research this tech, I'll reconsider. Or if I don't have any coal, I'll reconsider what I need. But for now, that's the plan. Keep ending turn here. The city is going to need all this science infrastructure and going to need more research quarters. Yeah, we can keep building out that way. So this sort of empty space like this is great for research quarters because there aren't a lot of research exploitations and they're not going to eat up any other exploitation for food and industry. So using that sort of dead space for research quarters is very nice. I'm just going to renounce that. Yeah, I'm going to go into a non-aggression pact, see if they'll trade with me. They will. Okay. They don't have a ton of stuff I'm interested in, to be honest. This is weird. This is a Pangea. I've never seen it wrapped so far around like this. I got all my... I believe I got all my manufactories online. Go ahead and get a copper there. And I'll inevitably attach this somewhere. So I'm going to buy a harbor. And I think the same thing down here as well. That'll end up attached. I could attach it here. I think it probably makes more sense with Mykeen. But at the same time, having an extra production queue that could build ships might be worthwhile. I'll sit on it for a bit. Could also attach here. Give me a bunch more river to play with. I think I'm going to do that. It's also going to... There was this great obelisk that was built a long time ago, so that's going to give me a little bit of gold income as well. And I can get another Sowan in here that'll really increase the efficiency of my researchers. So 17 science per researcher is really quite good. I have no complaints about that. None whatsoever. I'm running a bit out of space for my science over here. I might start building out this way. Okay. Steam engine coming up, so let's see what coal I have. This turn's taken a while for some reason. Every once in a while, the end turn takes a really long time. It's normally quite fast. Alright. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 coal. Yeah, that's a fair bit considering the amount of territory that I actually possess. So let's keep going down this path. Scientific method. I mean, it'll be nice because I can build research quarters a little faster, but I'm really interested in electricity. And Mykeen, I am going to turn on collective minds so we research all this stuff a little bit faster. These other cities don't have the best outputs. Babylon's the closest, but I really need it to continue to build up its sort of base science outputs. I need that industry. There's a lot of stuff I need to build in this city. So Babylon, go ahead and get my coal online. Let's let that Sowan finish on the next turn. I don't need the coal like this very moment, right? I still have a few turns before I get access to the tech that's going to increase my outputs based on the amount of coal that I have. Yeah, I'm building that one already. Okay. So I am going to need more money. That's a fact. And this city, it does, you know, the AI built some research in here already. There's a Terra right here. but I don't have a lot of money, and I'm going to, like, I'm getting 103 per turn, and it's only going to get worse as time goes on, because the upkeep cost of my units is going to continue to increase, and I'm going to need gold to buy them out, or to upgrade them. It would be nice to buy some units out as well, but probably not going to happen this game. Alright. I will want to get Tupkapi online eventually. It's not critical right now. Which one of these did I get? Yeah. Which one of these would be a decent city? This is going to be annoying and hard to defend, but at the same time, I feel like I want another base of operations. Okay, that's going to take forever to attach there. So, what I can do, I'm going to need food. 31 food right there is not too bad. Ooh, and there's some market quarters here already. I'm going to go ahead and expand on that. And then let's get some maker's quarters so we actually have production. We'll prioritize those after the farmer's quarter. And because I got the plan here, the blueprint, I got all that infrastructure that I would normally need to hard build for free. And once I have enough influence, I'll attach this territory as well. Ideally, we'll include, you know, one of these two. And we'll need to move some units up in that direction. Or just build them. Go ahead and get everyone up to arquebuses. I'd like to sort of skip musketeers and upgrade my units straight to line infantry. I'm going to go for line formation next. It's going to take a little bit. Might have to go for a collective mines in another city, probably Babylon, but still need all this basic stuff online first. Okay, I'm going to go on expert policy. We're going to go industry, food, money. And let's move up and prioritize these makers' quarters so that I can keep up with the inflated cost of quarters. Get another thing up here. It's all makers' quarters. Just want a base production, right, so that I can produce things efficiently. I am going to get this Academy of Arts for the +1 influence on research quarter at some point. Obviously, right now I don't have the influence to support that. I think, let's see, that's my last one. I'm going to finish the university here. I do have one one here, but I'm going to finish the university and turn on collective mines again. Okay, tier 3 tenant. What's still left? Yeah, this is probably the best one of the tier. +1 land movement, +1 naval movement, reduced industry cost on units. I think I have to go for that, particularly with how much I'm at war. I might go for another holy site as well, just to try to convert away from the stupid Mycenaean polytheism that is still thriving somehow. So, let's see, I want to turn on collective mines in there. Let's get another holy site just out of the way. Like right there would be good. And someone can help you with that. 2 turns is good. I would like to get up to the next tier. Okay, so everyone's still available for the industrial. So blue has not gone up yet. Was the first to discover electricity. Got a builder star. Nice, some free research from an osmosis event. Very cool. So I'm going to be getting a lot of osmosis events here, which is fine. It is what it is. Okay, so market quarters. Odd terrain to build on, but, you know, just making the best of what I have here. I just wanted another build queue, really. I'm farther behind on cities than I feel like I would normally be. I could turn this into a city as well. It honestly wouldn't be bad with just those two territories. But obviously I'll be paying a pretty hefty influence penalty if I want to do that. Did I turn on collective minds? No, I'm going to finish that university. Okay, so collective minds on for a few turns so I can get up to line formation as quickly as possible. Mykeen has it on. Let's turn it on here too. There's a good chance I will need to produce units within 10 turns, because I don't have the gold income to support upgrading everything. So really, I'm going to be hard building some line infantry once I get them available, and move some of these older units back until I can save up enough money to upgrade them to more modern units. Because these have fairly high, a lot of these have fairly high veterancy, and I don't want to lose that veterancy. Move these zombie Gajas all into one army there, so that they're faster. Remember, your armies only move as slow as your slowest unit, so when you combine arms like that, it gets a little touch and go. Okay, Carbine coming up next. And I should really be thinking about who would be good for the next era. I do have a fair number of commons quarters, so, you know, getting some more influence as well would be nice. I'd love to get some growth. The Siamese would be a great pick for me, I think. That +3 industry per district in all cities. I do have a lot of districts. I think the British would be fun, and I haven't played them yet for the channel. But we'll see. We'll see what's still available. Plenty of Aerostars here. I think the blue player is the only player that is close to going up into the industrial. So most of my picks should still be available if I want them. Alright. 3 turns left on collective minds there. Basically going to turn it off again as soon as I get line formation. And here, I don't want to build anything in this city yet until I can get line infantry. This city's development's coming along quite nicely, though. Let's go ahead and connect these. 33 food right there will be nice to have as well, since I am losing a bit of food. Okay, there's my line infantry. And a science osmosis event for some free science. The other thing I can go for here is nationhood through encyclopedia. So encyclopedia gives a ton of adjacency on researchers through academy once you build it. It is expensive to build. And nationhood gives conscripts, which are going to make my defensive units much more viable. The conscripts, I think they technically have lower strength than those Varangian guards do. Yeah, 43, and these Varangians have 48. So, but, you know, I'll be behind walls, and they are ranged units, so it's not like the Varangians retaliate. So I'm going to grab that, because I'm going to be in conflict with these guys again. And they're already back to max war support. Okay. So one more turn on collective minds here. Do need more production in this city. I don't think it really matters which one of these I choose here. Put it over there. Still keep moving that commons quarter to the back. We may need it eventually. How do I not have this infrastructure in here yet? Let's build those. They're quite cheap, relatively speaking. Okay, so the French. Alright, so their science is really going to increase. So I want to take it to these guys sooner rather than later. Let's Let's get some line infantry going. Gonna split it up between my cities. Collective mines off everywhere. I got, like, the key text that I need. Get some line infantry here. So that'll take several turns, but that's okay. I'd like to get artificial reservoirs to increase my growth here a little bit. There we go. And then line infantry, here we come. Should think about getting a city here soon. -10 pollution per turn. I don't think I've ever seen the AI actually reduce pollution before. That's a nice change. So they do have the Naginata now. Which are more than a match for most of my units. I'm going to move them back into this city. Let's see, the slightly more modern ones can stick around. And let's see, who do I want to upgrade here? I want to upgrade these Praetorians first, because it is the same cost to upgrade regardless of which unit you're upgrading. It doesn't matter how old technology they are. I meant to split that guy off. So next turn I'll upgrade another Praetorian. I should have enough gold for that. I have a very, very messy army at the moment. Okay, Praetorian. So between the Don Vigaja with the indirect fire and line infantry, I should be able to deal with threats fairly effectively. I'm going to go ahead and split you off into that army there. You can just camp out. Should probably be spawning units at my city center rather than down here. I'm positive I changed that in the past, but sometimes it seems to randomly change back to the default setting. Okay. Just idle you. You'll idle as well. Alright. So next. Could try to see if we have any oil. It would be nice to get chartered companies, though, to increase some of my money and science outputs. And then maybe go for microbiology so that our cities grow a little better. So microbiology reduces the food upkeep of your population. It is a technology that I like quite a bit. Do I need more industry in here? Yes, I do. I'd like to get up to at least around 500 is a good breakpoint for a non-specialized production city. This is giving me some great vision of their territory, actually. How much longer do I need to upgrade that? Another 2 turns. Okay. This is why I really need to increase my gold output. Okay, there's all my line infantry here. Line infantry here. Have those guys meet up. Need 4 more techs to 3-star my scientist stars. Got my builder stars already. I will get an aesthete star. Definitely not getting a merchant star this time around. Now, if I could attach some more territories or get a little more conquest in this era, I could get another expansionist star, which would definitely be nice to have. Alright. Little tech boost. So let's get a little bit of a defense in here. I'm going to go for a couple of the Don Vigajas because I can produce them in a reasonable amount of time. And okay, what happened? I don't know what happened here. Okay, so I can produce them in a reasonable amount of time, and they'll offer indirect fire, whereas my conscripts that'll be recruited here as city defenders are direct fire. So I'll be able to make use of the Don Vigaja, unlike line infantry. Okay, so they have musketeers now. Honestly, I'd rather face musketeers than than the Varangians. They do have the same combat strength as my line infantry, so I need to keep that in mind. But they aren't going to have the fire supports of Danvigaja. So this sort of group is staying back until I can get them all upgraded into line infantry. Yeah, extra production is fine there. Everything else is a bit wasted. Okay, so let's move you up here. And, you know, let's get some line infantry in here, have a max stack of line infantry. Should probably go for a strike against this city first, and then swing back down in this direction. And I'd actually like to get one more Danvigaja in here now that I've seen how much combat strength they have. Let's get up here. Let's see. Next turn I'll refuse their demands and see if that sort of baits them into going to war. And knock. I would like a little more production in here. Some of these later tier infrastructure do take quite a bit of production to build, or quite a bit of industry to build. So it's vital to keep up at least some semblance of industry in your cities, regardless of what you are specializing them in. We can finish that commons quarter, that's not a big deal. Alright, so let's get more money. It'd be great to connect up these two areas, so I'm going to prioritize that quarter first, so that walls will extend all the way over here. And we're going to need that plus 10% money. We're going to need the food markets. And down here, we are also focusing on money. Grab the food market, that's very cheap. We do need more industry. Do I have all the infrastructure for industry? No. But I don't have enough maker's quarters for it to be worth it yet. Let's grab a maker's quarter right here. Okay, and I'm going to drop a save here because I've had a lot of issues with like diplomacy and war resolution bugs. And then, see, I can upgrade one of these guys. Let's go for the cross. Oh, I need 4 more gold. So next turn we'll do that. Gonna refuse demands. Okay, and they declared war on me. And now I can attack them here. This should be a fairly easy fight. Alright. So what I want to do is have like an open line of fire in front. I want to leave some empty tiles. And then line infantry, and I'll use those line infantry that are on my front line to fire first. Move my next rank of line infantry up to fire again. And then I can use my Danvigajas as indirect fire. Okay, so they're hiding out back there. So that kind of counters my strategy a little bit, but if they had deployed farther forward, it would have worked just fine. Thankfully, because these are line infantry, I can move and attack, which musketeers cannot do. Probably have a unit here. Okay, that's their mortar. It would be nice to kill the mortar. I don't think I'm going to manage to do that, though. Okay, I'm not going to be able to make use of all my line infantry here. They have tree cover here, which is preventing me from getting line of sight from most of the tiles on my side of the battlefield. Oh, he shot. I don't need to use my high ground advantage to take this guy out. He'll just die. Just going to do as much damage to this mortar as possible. Want to remove their indirect fire units. And we'll move this guy back so that they have to attack my line infantry, because they're much more resilient to damage than my Dandigajas are. These Naginata are pretty strong too. I'm worried about losing this one here. Varangians are very, very strong in the hands of the AI because of that difficulty bonus that they get. Like, remember, these units are 2 eras old, and they're still competing with my line infantry. So, yeah, they're very strong. This is actually, I think I mentioned this before, but this is the first game that I have seen the AI play the Byzantines, and I was terrified of them having the Varangians, and rightfully so, it seems. Okay, let's get in the city. Let's see, that does way more damage. So let's take that. Okay, can move this guy over here. And hopefully I can finish these Varangians off with some indirect fire. No, I've already attacked with them. I'm going to reposition some of these units. Okay. Let's see what they do. May I never have to fight AI Varangian guards ever again. They are not fun. Alright. So let's get this unit out of here. Obviously we don't want to lose more than the 1 line infantry we've already lost. Okay, take him out, and let's work on finishing off this Naginata here. I'm going to use the indirect fire, because I want to preserve these guys to shoot the musketeers. We can get up to some high ground here. Right there looks good. How much combat strength do they have? 52. Yeah, I should be able to take a hit with some of my elephants here, if I really need to. Just going to cycle them around. This extra movement speed I'm getting from the Tenet is really playing a huge role in me being able to do what I'm doing here. And he shot already. Yeah, okay. So that's everyone. Okay, I captured their flag, so that's a victory there. Did lose a unit. Gets very expensive to heal units, so I'm not going to do that, because I need that to upgrade. So, let's see. Anything else that's critical back here? Not really. I could get howitzers, but I'd rather just see if I have oil and go for siege artillery. So, let's get into oil, see if I have anything that's accessible. And I'm going to put a pause there just because I need to run to the bathroom and get a drink and all that good stuff. So I'll see you in a minute. Hey everyone. So in editing, I actually realized that this episode was actually going to be about 2 hours long if I didn't put a cut in somewhere. And this felt like an okay place to do it. So I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to this somewhat shorter episode. Next episode is going to be a little bit longer, where we continue as the Joseon and eventually go up into the industrial era. So I'll see you in the next episode.